Number 21 on your homework, it says, what are the fractions 3/17, 5/7, 11/23, and 83/97 have in common? And why is it impossible to write those fractions in simplest form? So if you look at these numbers, it's kind of tough to tell right away. But 3/17, what can I reduce that to? Well, the factors that make up 3 are just 1 and 3. What are the factors that make up 17? Well, 1 and 3 won't work for 17, right? Because the sum of the digits here is 1 plus 7, which is 8. And 8 isn't divisible by 3. And 2 won't go into it because it's an odd number. 4 won't go into it. 5 won't go into it because it doesn't end in 0 or 5. So actually, you can go through all the numbers, but the only other number you'll get is 17. 1 and 17. So these are the only factors. These numbers are, of course, prime numbers. 1 in itself are the only numbers that work. Let's see, 5 and 7. I think it's the same thing for 5 and 7. 1 times 5 gets us 5. Can't multiply 2 to get anything with that. Can't multiply 3 to get anything with that. Let's look at 7 here. 1 goes with it, and 7. 1 times 7. And again, though, can't multiply 2 to get anything with 7. Can't multiply 3 to get anything with it. Let's look at 11 and 23. 11, only numbers to multiply to get 11 are 1 and 11. And 23, same thing. 23 is an odd number, so 2 won't go into it. 3 can't go into it because the sum of the digits is 2 plus 3, which is 5. So that's in simplest form. So why is it impossible to write those fractions in simplest form? Well, because they're already in simplest form. And what do the fractions have in common? Well, all these fractions are in simplest form, and they're all made up of numbers, including 83/97, that are prime numbers. They only have 2 factors. So that was kind of the answer to 21. And I'm going to go to the next page here. This problem right here, this was number 17. And all of them were pretty similar to this. So it said 8/36. And if it's asking you to put it in simplest form, that's what it's asking you to do here. 8 is what type of number? It's an even number, and 36 is 2. And remember, in simplest form, you're dividing. So if it's an even number, I could say, I'm going to divide this by 2, and I have to divide the same thing on the bottom. Divided by 2/2, which is really like saying divide by 1, right? Because 2 divided by 2 is just 1. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. 36 divided by 2, you might have to do that one out, but it's going to equal 18. And then you got to ask yourself, is this in simplest form? Is 4 and 18, are they even? They are. So I can, again, divide them both by 2. So I divide them both by 2. And of course, 4 divided by 2, that equals 2. 18 divided by 2, what number times 2 equals 18? That's going to be 9. So it'll be 2 ninths. Another way I could have done this problem, probably the quicker way, the easier way, I could just realize right away that 8 and 36, their greatest common factor is actually 4. So if I divide them by 4 at the very beginning, 8 divided by 4 is 2. And then 36 divided by 4 is 9. So I get 2 ninths. I still end up with the same answer. 2 ninths over there and 2 ninths over there. It's just quicker if I find out the greatest common factor first. Last problem here, and then you're home free. Number 20. Billy had 24 trading cards. He gave 7 of his cards to Michael and 9 of his cards to Terry. So if he gave away 7 and then he gave away another 9, how many cards did he give away total? He gave away 16 total. It says, what fraction of his original 24 cards does Billy have left? Well, he gave away 16, so how many does he have left? He has 8 left, and it says to write a fraction, so 8 out of 24 is what he has left. And it says write 2 equivalent fractions. Well, equivalent fractions, as long as we multiply or divide by the same number on top and the bottom, we'll get equivalent fractions. So let's see. I'll do one where I divide and one where I multiply. So we'll do 8 divided by 2, since they're both even. 24 and 8 are both even. I can divide them both by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 24 divided by 2 is 12. Now I could also take 8/24 and multiply it. Easiest numbers to multiply are usually going to be 10, because all you have to do is add zeros. So I'm going to multiply by 10. on the numerator and the denominator. So that equals 80 over 240.